Located on Mobile Point at the end of Scenic Fort Morgan Peninsula, Fort Morgan was built upon the ruins of Fort Bowyer between 1819 and 1834. Standing guard where the bay meets the Gulf of Mexico, the fort played a significant role in the Battle of Mobile Bay in August 1864. Used intermittently through the Spanish-American War, World War I, and World War II, the site showcases the evolution of the seacoast fortifications and adaptations made by the U.S. Army for the defense of the country. The site was turned over to the state of Alabama in 1946 and crowned a historic site. And it is here, at this famous site, that we'll be taking you today on this episode of History and Relics. Fort Morgan sits upon the site of another famous fort, Fort Bowyer. Fort Bowyer was constructed by the U.S. Army to guard against possible British attacks. The small log and sand fortification was indeed attacked twice by the British during the War of 1812. The first attack occurred on September 15, 1814, when 4 British warships and a combined force of British Royal Marines and Creek Indians came. But they were no match for the American forces, who gained ground after sinking one of the warships, the HMS Hermes, forcing the British Marines and Creek Indians to withdraw. A second battle took place during early February 1815, when a combined British land and naval fleet forced the vastly outnumbered American troops to surrender the fort. By the terms of the treaty that ended the War of 1812, the British had to return Fort Bowyer to the United States. Fort Bowyer continued defending Mobile Point until the early 1820s. Construction on Fort Morgan began in 1819. The fort was built by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, mostly through the use of African American slaves. Brick and mortar were the only materials that could be obtained locally. Other essential construction materials, such as finished granite, sandstone, ironwork, and cement, had to be shipped by water from New York. The fort was known as the Work on Mobile Point until April 1833, when it was named in honor of Revolutionary War hero General Daniel Morgan. Completed in 1834, the massive fort contains more than 40 million bricks and pays tribute to the skilled masons that built it. Fort Morgan was active during 4 wars: the Civil War, the Spanish-American War, and World War I and II. The fort is most famous for its role during the Civil War in the Battle of Mobile Bay. Mobile became the major Confederate port on the Gulf of Mexico after the fall of New Orleans, Louisiana in April 1862. With blockade runners carrying critical supplies from Havana, Cuba, into Mobile, Union General Ulysses S. Grant made the capture of the port a top priority after assuming command of all U.S. forces in early 1864. By August 5, 1864, Union Rear Admiral David Farragut led his fleet through the Confederate defenses at Mobile, Alabama, to seal one of the last major southern ports. Opposing Rear Admiral David Farragut's force of 18 warships was a Confederate squadron of only 4 ships. However, it included the ironclad CSS Tennessee, said to be the most powerful afloat. Farragut also had to contend with 2 powerful Confederate batteries inside Forts Morgan and Gaines. The USS Hartford, Admiral Farragut's flagship, was the first ship of the United States Navy named for Hartford, the capital of Connecticut. Commissioned in 1859, the ship measured 225 feet long by 44 feet wide and held 310 officers and enlisted soldiers. She had 20 9-inch guns, 2 20-pounder Parrott rifles, and 2 other 12-pounder guns. She was decommissioned in 1926 and survived until 1956, when she sank awaiting restoration in Norfolk, Virginia. However, a remnant of the USS Hartford can be seen here at Fort Gaines, her huge anchor. This too was the battleship upon which Farragut gave his world-famous command of "Damn the torpedoes! 4 bells! Captain Drayton, go ahead! Jewett, full speed!" This was later paraphrased and became known as "Damn the torpedoes! Full speed ahead!" As for the battle of Mobile Bay, the Yankee fleet quickly knocked out the smaller Confederate ships, but the CSS Tennessee fought a valiant battle against overwhelming odds before it sustained heavy damage and surrendered. The fall of Mobile Bay to Union forces in August 1864 was a major blow to the Confederacy, and the victory was the first in a series of Yankee successes that helped secure the re-election of President Abraham Lincoln later that year. And now it's time for all of us to explore Fort Morgan and see what it all has to offer. Our video does tend to move fast at times, so please feel free to pause it at any time for a longer look or to read any of the informational placards we'll see along the way. So with that, let the exploration begin.
Thank you for joining us today. We hope you've enjoyed our program. If you like our content, we ask that you like, share, and subscribe to our channel. It costs nothing but means a lot to us and keeps us growing. You may also leave us a tip if you choose. A link is provided here on your screen as well as in the description area below. And until next time, everyone, this one is history.